this pandemic, I have found myself to be incredibly tightly wound. The quarantine's been difficult to cope with. And so I took up baking, and here's a recipe worth making. It's a peachy frangipane galette that's topped with almonds, toasted. Today, we're making a peach tart with almond cream. It's a pretty simple ingredient list for our peach frangipane galette. We're really just here to show off those beautiful summer peaches. For the frangipane, we're using almond flour, butter, sugar, eggs, and I've got some almond and vanilla extracts there. And then the galette dough is just flour, sugar, butter, and then we'll top it with an egg wash and some almonds. And then we'll throw in those beautiful peaches. I don't want to oversell it, but frangipane is life-changing. It's an almond cream and it is super versatile. You can use it in a ton of recipes and it comes together pretty quickly. I'm just going to put together a half a stick of butter along with a cup of almond flour, a quarter cup of sugar. I've got some vanilla extract mixed with a little almond extract here, but you could also use amaretto or you could even use bourbon depending on what you're making. So I'm just going to throw that in with a pinch of salt and one egg. Frangipane goes with a ton of different fruits. You can use it with any stone fruit. It's great with berries. It's great with cranberries. It's great with cinnamon in a coffee cake. Like I said, life-changing. So we're just going to stir this together really quick and then refrigerate it until we're ready to use it. You can keep it in the fridge for up to a week. For the tart dough, I'm just going to do this in a bowl. We will start by whisking together a cup and a half of all-purpose flour. I've got a quarter cup of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of salt. Just whisk that together. And then I've got a stick of butter that, it's very cold butter, that I've just cut into cubes. And we will just cut this in with a pastry cutter. And once that comes together, we will add some water and roll it out. Once the butter has incorporated to the point that you just have these little pea-sized pieces of butter mixed in with the flour, we will add a quarter cup of ice cold water and just stir to combine. You might need up to 1 tablespoon more water, but we just want to moisten all of this flour to make a dough. Once all the water is incorporated, we'll just flatten this dough out on a floured surface. We're just gonna pull it together into a disc and refrigerate. We need to refrigerate the galette dough for at least an hour, but it can stay in the fridge for 3 days until you're ready to use it. Once the dough has chilled, we're just gonna roll it out into a free-form tart and add the frangipane. I'm just dumping the frangipane into the middle of the tart, and then we will arrange some peach slices just in a pretty pattern on top of the frangipane. We'll just pull the edges up around the tart. This is going to look pretty rustic when we're done with it. Just before going into the oven, we will hit this with a little egg wash. I've just mixed some egg and milk together and sprinkle with some almonds right around the crust, and we'll bake it at 350 for about 40 minutes. Check it at 35. So here you have a perfect way to show off your summer peaches, and that frangipane, you'll be seeing that again. See you next time.